Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, Anita Finley.
Chris McDonald's Memories of Elvis in concert. And you just want to write this down because you do not want to miss it. Saturday, August the 13th at 8 o'clock. It's the only tribute artist hired by Elvis Presley Enterprises to perform at Graceland's Heartbreak Hotel. And I've had the privilege, of course, of seeing Chris perform, and it's inspiring. I mean, you never are going to get tired. You could see this over and over. So if you've seen him before, you want to go again. Just bring your friends, and we just, I don't know, are you ever going to grow old, Chris?
Well, I appreciate that. Luckily, I started really young, and I have a good time. I never took a drink in my life, never smoked, no drugs, and, I think the show and production is better than ever. We're a tight group and good charts, and, there's something said about performing what you love. If you're doing it right, you're supposed to get better. That's how it works. And my mom got me into this. As a little kid, I wasn't even alive or able to see Elvis perform. He was gone before I could see him. And the music itself is, I think, kind of just started in me, from childhood with her playing, music. And we'd watch those old movies on TV, Saturday and Sunday afternoons, and they'd run the movies on Turner Network or TNT, one of those things. And, he was cool. That's how I got into it. He beat up the bad guy to win the race, and then all those beautiful girls in bikinis. And it sounded like such a great gig, when you're a little kid, it sounds great. And then when you become an adult, it's even better.
And now I know what happened. So here you are in your mommy's tummy, and she's playing Elvis Presley. So it really does work, doesn't it?
That's absolute truth. You hear music from the womb, right. and then after the womb, it all becomes a part of you.
I think that's true. That I was thinking if you were saying that. Well, I really was wondering about. I know you don't drink or smoke. Do you ever eat chocolate chip cookies?
Well, everybody has to have some chocolate chip cookies. Absolutely.
Okay, I want to make sure you're not perfect.
Yeah. Oh, well, hey, to me, chocolate chip cookies are perfect. What are you
they are.
There's nothing wrong with those. Right?
That's right. Nothing's wrong with those. So, have you sung? Because I think when I saw your last show, you said that, if I'm not mistaken, something like this, that he wrote or he sang 700 songs. Is that true?
Actually, it was more than that. It was 900, over 900 songs. He didn't write them, but he performed and recorded. There was over 900 songs recorded.
It's hard to believe.
That's a lot of songs, yeah, and that's what I usually say at the show, and we're going to do them all tonight, just to freak everybody out,
That's right. So, but you have favorites. I mean, have you actually sung every single song that he's ever sung?
You know what? Not yet. I mean, not on stage. No. From time to time, there's a lot of songs that I call gems or treasures. That maybe didn't hit the mainstream radio, but are really great songs. And he covered a lot of standards too. A lot of country standards. Like "Make the World Go Away" and "Help Me Make It Through the Night," and great songs like that. "I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry." Beautiful country songs that were recorded that may have not hit the radio for Elvis, but he did them live in concert. So we kind of try to throw in a lot of those songs in with the standard hits when we do our shows, and that's what you have to do. You got to do some of those. The standard hits have to be done.
Absolutely.
Heartbreak Hotel and Jailhouse Rock and
Blue Suede Shoes.
Blue Suede Shoes. All those great songs from the '50s and the movie songs, Viva Las Vegas and Can't Help Falling in Love, and we do that Black Leather comeback special too, which is a lot of fun because it's after doing all those movies, Elvis decided to get back into what he really loved, which was live performance. So they had a special on television. He wore the black leather. He sat around with those guys he started the music business with, which, matter of fact, we lost one of those gentlemen just recently. Scotty Moore, Elvis's guitar player, just passed away.
How old was he?
84 years old, and he just passed away yesterday. And
But you've been using one of the drummers, I think.
The drummer, yes, drummer DJ Fontana. He actually was with Elvis also on that '68 comeback, and he was a part of the original group that really got the music going. I mean, they're the pioneers of rock and roll as we know it. And like I said, Scotty was a tremendous guitar player, and from the Beatles to the Stones and everybody else after, used him as a guideline for what it was to be a cool guitar player. So he was something else. And DJ, actually, we do quite a few shows with DJ. He's Elvis' original drummer. And the last one from the original rhythm section grouping, Bill Black, the bass player, has passed away, and Scotty Moore is gone. And it's one of those things. These are legacies for rock and roll music, legendary players that helped form Elvis's influences and got him moving and grooving, and all that magic that happened on the Ed Sullivan Show and the Milton Berle Show. It was all a part of that early birth of rock and roll.
Yeah.
Something never be repeated.
Yeah, that's true, but you're certainly bringing it back and keeping it there. I want everyone to know that my guest is Chris MacDonald, and we're talking about what he does here, Memories of Elvis in Concert. And I'd love for you to buy your tickets now, so you're sure you get them. Just get your pencils out. Remember, this is Pencil Talk Radio. Phone number is 954-462-0222. Or you can go to parkerplayhouse.com and buy it that way. And the date for your big thing is Saturday, August the 13th at 8 p.m.
Yes.
And I do have a couple of questions, so I've been saving them up because
sure.
In my mind, when I saw Elvis, I thought he was a big-time guitar player. But now I'm wondering, was he a big-time just singer or what?
Well, he in the early days, he played the guitar, the rhythm guitar, through those early songs, like in the Sun label, That's Right, Mama, Blue Moon of Kentucky, and Mystery Train, and all those early Sun label recordings. And he, of course, played the guitar throughout his career at different times. But he left it to as he said, the professionals to play the leads and stuff on a lot of that. He had Scotty Moore during the 50s and early days, and then he had James Burton during those concert years, a great guitar player. But I believe Elvis was a true entertainer. He played some guitar, he played some bass, a little piano, but what his gift was performing, singing, making that song be as personal as it can be to the audience. I mean, that's the gift. When you're an entertainer, you have to take the song, the lyrics, and the music, and the emotion, and you have to make it relatable to your audience, and there was nobody better.
Yeah, that's very good. Now, did he ever bring anybody up when he was performing, another famous person, particularly? I mean, I knew I saw that thing on television. I saw him with Frank Sinatra, but did he ever bring anyone?
Well, he kind of fooled around early on in Las Vegas when he started first doing Vegas. They didn't really know what to think about him back in the 50s. He kind of had a cool response there from the Vegas crowd back in the early 50s. But when he was there, he messed around there with actually Liberace, who was there at the same time, and they kind of goofed around. They goofed around on stage and that kind of stuff. But he had many friends in the entertainment business. Everybody loved stopping by in Las Vegas to see him perform, and friends with Tom Jones, and of course Frank Sinatra did the special with, and Fontainebleau, which was in Miami when he got back from the Army. So there was plenty of fans within the music business that truly loved seeing the shows when they could.
And is he actually buried at Graceland?
They have the actual plot and
but
the garden.
Was he cremated, or is his body there?
No, it wasn't cremated.
So that's where he is. Wow, and they have a lot of visitors, don't they? That whole place.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, that's and I haven't been there. So what's it like there?
Graceland it's strange. It was now it's a house that's in beautiful, home with quite a bit of land, but it's in the middle of kind of a busy, normal street. And of course, a long time ago, it wasn't like that. There was, it was a little bit less crowded, but it's a kind of a normal area there. And across from the home itself is the museum and the hotel and kind of the visitor greeting area. And there's all kinds of memorabilia and videos and movies and stuff that they play. And the house itself their whole goal is to keep it the same. To keep it just like it was in 1977 when he passed away. So when you walk into those doors on the tour, you actually feel like you're there. You feel like you're back in time. It's including shag carpeting, everything else. That's in the jungle room, and but you can tell it was an actual home. It's not like it's someone's personal residence. That's what's kind of interesting about it. When you go through there, you actually feel his presence. You feel that this is where he actually lived. It's not cold. It's very warm, and it shows you that he was just a human being. He was a man.
And when you perform, is there a concert hall there? Where do you perform?
I performed for 7 years for Elvis Presley Enterprises at Graceland at the Heartbreak Hotel. I also did some shows at the Graceland Plaza. And it was a great honor. I mean, to be hired to perform there once was wonderful. To do 7 years every January and every August was a great honor.
Big crowds? Did they have big crowds?
Oh, the crowds are from all over the world. I mean, that's what's incredible about this. You get fans that don't even speak English. They'll be singing along with you, and then when you go to speak with them, they have no idea. That's what's so cool. Wow. Everybody. I don't think you can go anywhere in the world and not have someone know who Elvis is, or it just even today. I mean, it's so many years after. It's just that he's become a part of pop culture and a part of I guess American history, the influence on the world. Right.
And I'm a judge at something that used to be called Senior Idols. Now it's Senior something. And we have about over 100 people, seniors, who are competing for singing. And they're women and men. And, of course, two of the most famous people would be Frank Sinatra and Elvis Presley.
Oh, of course. Those are the standards. They're the icons of basically male performance when it comes to vocals and how the American Idol set up, the original show, the American Idol.
No.
I believe that their goal originally was to find another Elvis, the triple threat, the icon, the one that was a singer, dancer, actor, somebody that could actually be, an American Idol. And I don't think they're ever going to find anybody like Elvis. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people that are talented out there, but they kind of broke the mold.
You're the closest one.
I'm sorry?
You're the closest one.
Oh, I'm just doing a tribute. I'm doing a tribute. I mean, I really, there's only one Elvis, and I'm just fortunate enough to be able to love what I do and be able to perform for people. I truly enjoy the music, and I love interacting with the audience and bringing smiles to people and, just having fun. Very simple, having a good time.
Well, of course, I attended this, and I was just mesmerized by Chris McDonald and how much he did seem like he was Elvis. But then it was his whole stature, the way he cared about the audience, and he came down into the audience. He gave women scarves. He gave women roses. He even gave them kisses. And, I mean, they just loved you. I mean, that was such a great performance. I've been to a lot of theater, a lot of performances, but I don't know many people that really get down into it the way you did.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoyed the show, and really, the whole thing about performing, I think, as a performer, and Elvis understood it. You're there only because of your fans. I mean, you're there only because of the music, and you're able to do this wonderful thing because of the enjoyment that people feel from the music. So if you're not involved in the music, if you're not involved with the emotions of song, if you're not involved with the people you're entertaining, then you're not doing your job. You have to, it's all a part of it. And that give and take of the audience and the performer is where the magic's created. And you have to give of yourself to have that happen. It's important.
And how is it for a family man like you? Do you ever take your wife with you? I mean, I know your children are grown now, aren't they?
Yes, and my wife does come to shows. Some of the traveling stuff she's not able to, but she really understands what the show's about and what we're trying to do. And it's just to have a good time. Let people come back to their maybe even their early childhood days, their teenage days. Bring people back in time to a simpler time and just enjoy themselves and share the memories. That's why I call it Memories of Elvis, and that's what it's about.
And so the way we describe this, it's a national touring tribute. You're in for a big full production Las Vegas style show. He has an 8-piece band, dancers, singers, and he leads the memorial celebration of life and the music of the king of rock and roll through highlights of several stages of his iconic career. The early years, the movies, the black leather, 68 comeback, and the white fringe 70s Vegas concerts. So, do you have a lot of the same outfits? Because what if one gets dirty or messed up?
I have duplicates. You're absolutely right. And thank you for thinking of me. I appreciate it. Yeah, I tell you what, I definitely work out there, and when you jump and move around in a lot of clothes, you're going to definitely, sweat a little bit. Yeah, so I give what I can, for sure.
That's true. You have to do that. And so, and I love that fact that when you come out and then you come back and then you're in something different. And did Elvis do that when he was performing?
Well, no, because he basically would be out with the one particular outfit that in the later years, and of course in the 50s he had regular suits on and that kind of thing. But the reason why I do that is we're representing all those eras of his career. So that's why we kind of want to present the similar outfits that epitomize those eras of his career. The certain movie look. I've got the red jacket, the short red jacket,
right.
And then the Hawaiian leis, which we give out during the show, and the black leather was an iconic moment of his career. And of course, the early '50s, I enjoy that stuff too, because I do have the black and white two-tone shoes and the regular suit jackets and the collar up, and I have blue suede shoes too occasionally. And different.
Yeah, wait, I want to talk about those blue suede shoes a minute. I don't understand blue suede shoes. What were there really blue suede shoes at that time, and why?
Yes, well, it just was cool.
Was it?
I mean,
blue suede shoes was cool.
The answer to everything is it was cool. You know why? Because Elvis made it cool. That's why.
Right, blue suede shoes. So there were other kind of suede shoes. I mean, I don't even remember men wearing suede shoes, but that's all right. And it was just unusual to have blue ones?
Yep, that was essentially Carl Perkins wrote that song, and Carl recorded it first. And Carl was also within the Sun label in those early days, and Elvis wanted to make sure that it went to number one for Carl first before he recorded it. And he did that to make sure that he got his number one. He didn't want to go over the top of him. So then, of course, after that, Elvis recorded it, and that went to number one too. So it was one of those things where it didn't hurt, to have the king do the song too.
Right. And so I don't remember this. Do you really have blue suede shoes?
Yes, I do. I have blue suede shoes. I do wear them. When I wear them, I also have a blue jacket that I wear with those blue suede shoes, and we switch off on that from time to time.
You almost when you travel, you almost have to have your own tailor or your own butler or somebody to carry all your clothes.
I do travel with a lot of extra luggage. I mean, there's no doubt about it. So the outfits take up space, and that's just part of the business.
Yep, I'm sure it is. So, and I think I asked you this why don't you tell me some of the not so famous songs that you don't get to sing? Are they great names? What about them?
Some of them we try to actually put in the show along with those hits, so we kind of switch them out from time to time. And we did, I think, one of the shows you were at, the song "It's Over," which was a very beautiful song, and things like "You Don't Have to Say You Love Me," which was a Dusty Springfield song.
I remember that.
Yeah,
boy, I remember.
Yeah, Elvis did that live in concert, so we try to throw in that. Of course, "Sweet Caroline" is a Neil Diamond song, but Elvis did that live. So a lot of those songs are thrown into the 70s part of the show, where we're able to cover "My Way" and some of the concert songs Elvis chose to do. But there's just so many beautiful ballads. A song called "Just Pretend," which was not a big hit on the charts, but it's like during the 70s and some of the country kind of songs that Elvis did, and "How the Web Was Woven," beautiful song. "Mary in the Morning." So these are some of the really, if you get a chance to listen to some of these songs, beautiful. I mean, and there are songs that we do try to put into our set list as we go on, just for people to hear them, because his legacy of over 900 recordings, if you haven't heard them all, some of them are kind of, some of them I don't think Elvis would ever do again. There's a couple movie songs. There's a few movie songs that I'm sure he was cringing when he was doing them. One of them came to mind, "Yoga Is As Yoga Does."
Oh, my gosh.
and he never did that one in concert. So believe me, he just, after that one was done, they kind of threw it away, I think.
Right.
But there are some really beautiful cover songs of some of the standards that people really would enjoy, like the song "You Don't Know Me."
Oh, I love that one. Oh,
beautiful
yes.
version of that song
was
was in the movies. So yeah.
Right. And how did he get the songs? People just kept sending him songs. He had somebody who first, did they get to him themselves, or someone else listened first?
They were always pitching songs, and he would get versions of those particular songs that he would go ahead and cover, and then he would have to like the song, have to relate the song, and enjoy what he heard from the demo. He'd hear something in the demo, and then he would go ahead and record it. And Lieber and Stoller, the great songwriting team, Lieber and Stoller, they originally did a bunch of classics for him, in the early days, and they wrote for him all through the 50s.
I can picture this really, Chris, that all of a sudden, somebody writes a song, they send it to him, of course, and all of a sudden they get a call from him or his manager and say, "We'd like it, we're going to use it." They must have gone crazy.
Oh, yeah, and as soon as you knew that Elvis was going to record
that's it.
The song, it was going to be a hit, and you're talking, residuals for the rest of your life. That was a good thing. And talking about residuals, so every time, let's say, you sing or someone else sings, are there residuals that are still going to the foundation, or his? Oh yeah, it's all handled through the venues. You're paying ASCAP and BMI, and it's all covered and paid directly, through the licensing.
Mm-hmm. So someone's making money. The songwriters or whomever are still making money.
Yes, and Elvis, on every song that he did, he got publishing rights. He was added on for publishing. Yeah.
I see. So, and he wrote some himself, though, didn't he?
He worked on a couple songs. He gets songwriting credit on "Heartbreak Hotel," and then a few of the songs, a little bit with "All Shook Up" and some other stuff they give him credit for. But he didn't really write a lot of his own material. He didn't need to. Mm-hmm. He was given so much great material by other writers.
Right. And so would you, if you had to speak to someone that didn't know Elvis Presley, would you call him a country singer? Would you call him rock and roll? What would you really identify him as?
He was a lover of all kinds of music. So he loved pop, he loved rock and roll, he loved country, he loved rhythm and blues. And really, rock and roll was a fusion of country, rhythm and blues, and gospel. He loved gospel too. So really, rock and roll is a fusion of all that. And he was the king of rock and roll. That's what I call him.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I do, and I suppose that's, it's been attributed that way, that a lot of the African-American or black singers could not really get into the world that he got. And he loved their music, and by his singing it, it just really took off, right?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. In the early days, black artists, of course, were performing rhythm and blues, and the music was out there. And he was from the Mississippi Delta area, very depressed situation, family-wise, with very meager upbringings. But he was in that whole area of hearing all that music, hearing the rhythm and blues, hearing the gospel, hearing the hillbilly country. So it all kind of came together in his mind and his influence. And when he performed the rock and roll music, and he was able to get on the Ed Sullivan Show, it gave great exposure to the foundation of that music, rhythm and blues. And he was a white face playing. They originally thought he was black when they heard him. They didn't know he was white.
Really?
Originally,
really?
When that came out, he was originally assumed it was a black artist. A lot of people assumed it on the radio. So basically, he was able to, through his upbringing and where he grew up in the heart of his music, he was able to use his influences and perform the music. And, of course, it was all magic with the Ed Sullivan Show. And once they saw his raw energy, once they saw the music, many other black artists and stuff were able to, I think they were able to get on more exposure due to the fact that rock and roll was now generated to the youth of America, white and black, and it kind of created more of a fusion of culture.
Right. Well, I never forget looking at Ed's face when he had this guy on there and what was going on. Anyway, we've run out of time, but we're going to have you back again, and I wish you so much luck. I love talking to you, Chris.
I love talking with you, too. It's always
great.
A pleasure.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Everybody, call for tickets, 954-462-0222. Don't miss this show. Bye.
Thank you very much.